Hello everyone, my name is Vox and I want to spark a debate. I want to ask a question and see what you guys think and try to develop this into a bigger conversation. This is actually sparked by a topic brought up in a video by Total Biscuit. It was WTF is motor... Frick, I forgot what it was called. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it is WTF is Motor Rock. Okay, that's what the game was called. I couldn't think of what the game was called. And Motor Rock, it's basically a clone of Rock and Roll Racers, which was developed by what Blizzard is now known as. And part of the issue with it is that it took actual assets and, just ripped off a lot of actual stuff from the original game, Rock and Roll Racers. And he brought up the idea of, is it morally wrong for the game to have done so when the original Rock and Roll Racers could be considered abandonware? Abandonware being a game that is basically floating in developer-publisher limbo because the original developer-publisher no longer exists or no longer even, has any sort of tie or backing to the game. And the game has no ever foreseeable re-release or official, availability, and you can't even legally purchase it. Like, you have to pirate it to play it, basically, or emulate it to play it. It's, the concept of something that no longer exists legally, but that people really want to support. And I think this could be developed into a bigger conversation about copyright law for other media as well. Let's think about older anime or TV shows that you can't really get legally anymore, that haven't, the industry no longer supports it, so there's no modern availability for it. It's not on Netflix. They haven't, re-released it on Blu-ray or even DVD half the time. And so basically your only way to watch it is on those little anime streaming websites or by pirating it. And then is it morally wrong to pirate and support the piracy of it? And that's a really tough question to think about. Because on one hand, you are sharing files you don't, or, assets in this game's sense. You are basically, sharing something that isn't yours without permission, which on a very black and white level breaks copyright law, breaks the law, and is wrong. But I feel like it more gets into a gray area, because why? Let's look at it this way. If no entity is out there actually supporting, owning up to, or, has any foundation for the original thing, like in this case, Rock and Roll Racers, there's gonna be no current day tie to that game. Like, Blizzard may exist, but they're not, they're not gonna re-release it. They don't have it in a store you can buy. They don't have anything like that. Or in some anime or TV show, I say anime because they're often a bit harder to find once the publishing just kind of disappears. When it no longer exists, no one's there to claim it or release it. How are they going to be there to make a claim that someone is infringing on their IP or on their copyright if basically that copyright no longer exists? It's not yours, but it's not necessarily anybody else's. So where does it fall in terms of whether or not you can share it, rip it off, or do whatever you want with it? I think that's a really interesting conversation, and I'm interested to see all of your all's opinions on it. And if you have any other sources that have talked about this, please feel free to share them below. I'm really interested to see where this can go. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to your all's thoughts.